Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to be interviewing a very amazing senior publishing manager from Homa Games. Homa Games is holding the first IP-based game jam that is taking place right now with a prize pool of $150,000. You can register and participate. Link will be in the description. And here I have Lola with me. Welcome Lola to my channel.
Hey, it's amazing to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. You know, Homa Games, we work with a lot of developers from India, so it's amazing. And I'm very happy to just answer all your questions about hyper-casual publishing or just game publishing in general.
Awesome. So friends, Lola over here is the publishing manager from Homa Games, and Homa Games is one of the biggest publishers. They have their offices in Paris, and they've been very kind enough to come onto our channel and answer all our queries related to game publishing and how much do they earn, how much we get out of it. So we'll start with all the questions. Lola, thank you very much for taking out time from your busy schedule and scheduling this interview. So Lola, my very first question to you is, who are game publishers, one, and why do game developers need them?
I think that's a really good first question to start with. You know, in a nutshell, game publishers are the company who can take your idea to a top chart game worldwide. And then it comes down to services they can provide. And honestly, the services can vary from one publisher to another. So I can speak for Homa Games and what we decided to offer to our developers. So what we do as a game publisher, we not only provide services and direct support to developers, we also consider ourselves a tech company. We build tech tools. We as well create creative assets inside the company, and we try to do a lot of negotiations on our side to try to expand and bring like exciting projects to the developers. So to start one by one, what kind of services game publisher at Homa Games brings to developers? What we decided to do is that we offer a team of experts to each developer that work directly with them and provide direct support. And this team we call Squad. And the squad consists of experts in game design, experts in user acquisition monetization, experts in creative production, and experts in project management, which is your publishing manager. We work directly like this with developer, and it allows us to be super efficient and execute super fast in the process between the prototype and getting the game to a hit on the top chart. When we move on to not being just service provider and game publisher, we do as well a lot of tech tools inside the company for user acquisition and monetization, and gives us a really good edge into bringing the game into millions of hands while being still profitable.
Awesome.
For the next, I would say a couple of words, because this is really what's exciting about also the IP in the game jam. What we do is we work with a lot of big brands, and we try to expand the portfolio, negotiate the licenses, and provide those licenses to the developers, so developers actually can work with these big brands, use their creative assets inside their games, and tap into their fan base. And honestly, I think this is the kind of the combination why I think developers are choosing to work with us.
Awesome. So basically, from what I understand is that game publishers are a game developer's best friend. Would that be a right thing to say?
Yeah, best friend and a business partner.
Awesome. So that's a really good thing. So Lola, this brings me to my next question. Let's say I believe that I have a great game with me. Okay, I think that I've made something that has a potential. So how can I find a game publisher?
Yeah, well, first of all, you're in luck, because right now there are a lot of game publishers on the market. There's only a selection of them who has the right experience and who has the right level of professionalism. And if you believe that you have a good game, choosing a publisher fast is extremely important. But also what's extremely important is to make your research before you choose the publisher, because the wrong publisher can result in your game not being published, or being published but not tapping into the full profitability, or even getting copied. So you have to be quite careful and do your own research. How you can do this is you checking the history of the publisher, the repeating successes before in reach, in profit. Are they able to do their in-house tools? What kind of quality of the team they are, and what kind of quality of the people that you're going to talk to on a daily basis. So at the end of the day, as I mentioned, like it's choosing a business partner for your project. So you have to really make sure they're experts and that they align with you on the same kind of values.
Awesome, awesome. So let's assume that my game, I've made a great game, and you as a publisher, you liked my game. Okay, my game gets
Mm-hmm.
shortlisted with you. Then what are the kind of tests that you at Homa Games or in general publisher takes out in order to run the game on your side and decide that whether something that I've made is good or bad?
Okay, first of all, congrats. Exciting news. Super happy
Yeah,
to take your game. Yeah, so at Homa, methodology is quite straightforward. So you have a game that you believe in. The first phase is going to be a test. So it's
okay.
basically a marketability test. We invest some budget in the game. We get the real audience to play your game, and we look at the in-game metrics and see if they reach certain KPIs that show us the potential of the game. And then if the game shows a good potential, we bring it to the next stage called iteration. And the squad that I mentioned before now joins you, and we all together work like on a few iterations to make the best version of this game. And plus, you will have to integrate a little bit of more tools, but don't worry about that because we have our meta SDK and it's super easy. When we satisfied with the results, we push it to another stage. It's called acceleration. In acceleration, we just put a lot of budgets, we increase our investment, and we start like crazy production of creatives in order to prepare the game to scale. And this is stage right before the last stage, which is publishing, where we launch the game. And when we launch, now it's up to our technologies, up to our creative team, the squad to scale the game massively, to monetize it, and to take care of live ops.
Just an off-track question. I can see you have a background of epic pranks, Nerf epic pranks. So can you just tell us about something about that game? Is it a new game that is publishing, or
How
is
it
it already
started?
published?
Yes, so the game is already published. It's been #1 on top charts for a couple of weeks now. It's a bit different process because here we're working with the big brands, but don't worry because we take care on our side everything to do with negotiating with the brands, taking care of more of legal terms. So we like the developers to do what they actually really like is creating games, and everything, all the fuss around making games, testing, budget and stuff we're taking on our side. So I would say like when we received the first concept of Nerf Epic Pranks, we really liked it. It was called completely different. We worked already with Nerf, we tested, we saw really good metrics, but the game was not ready, especially because it has to comply with a lot of legal terms with Hasbro and Nerf. Then it went to iteration, and we worked very closely with the squad, with the team, Katka, their amazing studio, and Nerf, in order to make everything perfect, that everything fits studio, us, and Nerf, and the game stays as profitable as possible. We were quite satisfied within a couple of weeks. It took like a couple of weeks to finish the game. And then we went to direct launch, and within a couple of weeks, it was on the first on the top chart.
Amazing! Congratulations on the success of that game.
Thanks.
Now this brings me to a next interesting question. I have a lot of my subscribers who ask me that they don't have a company; they're just an individual developer. So will a publisher still work with individuals who don't own a company, who are like a solo person or solo developer?
It happens a lot, and we're happy to work with solo developers as much as we're happy to work with big companies. If you look at our portfolio, for example, Skyroller was a product of a solo developer, and he's still working by himself. So it is totally possible to create a hit when you're a solo developer. What we're looking forward to is work with the most talented, super hungry developers, and no matter what kind of studio, what size of the studio you are, or where you're located. But one thing you should be sure of is take everything on the legal side. So when it comes to signing the contracts and getting the payments, you won't have any problem.
Correct. Awesome. And another general doubt that most of the people have is, and this thing you also mentioned, that if you get a bad publisher, maybe they end up copying your idea. So many people are worried that a publisher may copy the game idea. Does this happen a lot, or is this something that needs to be taken care of, and how?
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's not unheard of. It happened before, it's still happening. So really, when you're choosing a publisher, make sure to check the history of the publisher. Maybe talk to 2 or 3 studios who worked with this publisher, get their opinion. Um, but honestly, when we just started Homa, we started Homa on 3 values, which is transparency, trust, and fairness. So we believe that this will bring us a win in the long term to work on new and innovative projects. Like we want to put our creativity skills, expertise into working on something new, exciting, innovative, because it's been proven that innovation is the key to get the huge audience and get the following. So just to make sure to choose the publisher with the same mindset, and you should be fine.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I've been interacting with you guys since the last couple of weeks, and I've had some really positive feedback from you guys. But more on that in the other videos. So guys, please subscribe to my channel, because we are going to continue this series, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So Lola, now that let's say my game has been accepted, I cleared off all your tests. I kind of, my game walked through fire, and we passed all the tests. Now my game is finally selected by you. Will I get paid anything upfront, and what will be the profit sharing percentage?
So each publisher has their own way of payment terms. At Homa, we have a kind of a base structure that works for our business model. But for the details, we're really flexible, and we're looking for studios' needs and to how to answer the studio's needs more than putting our terms on the table and make the studio sign it for us. It includes the upfront payment, and it includes flexible profit sharing. At the end of the day, it's a ratio between risk and effort and the reward. And moreover, we're always happy to support studio in their development process. So we're happy to pay for prototypes. We're also happy to invest in studio financially or with our internal knowledge.
Wow, that's amazing. You guys really are a developer's best friends. So now
we try our
that's awesome. That's really amazing to hear. Now, from a technical standpoint, a question of mine is, do I have to add any other frameworks to the game based on the publisher's instructions?
Yeah, so typically a fully functionable, monetized game that's on the App Store includes several SDKs and tools inside. For example, it has all the several analytics SDKs, mediation SDK, network SDKs, attribution platform, some A/B tools, and some other tools as well. And usually they're added stage by stage. Like in the test, you have to have only one, then we go to iteration, some more. But what we did in Homa is what we created what we call a meta SDK called Homa Belly. Like everything is in one belly, all the tools is inside. So you have to like only integrate it only once. And then you plug and play, update it, depending on the stage that I mentioned before, like test, iteration, acceleration, and publish. So no worries about that.
Awesome, awesome. And as a developer, will I be getting any development help from the publisher?
Yeah, so the help, the provision of help really heavily depends from one publisher to another. At Homa, we made the choice that we're not only providing user acquisition and monetization, but we're also providing like a 360-degree support to the developers. As I mentioned, like we have a squad, the game design, the user acquisition, the project management, and the creative. So the developer always can ask for the support. We also build super efficient tools that we share with the developers, and developers can use them to be more efficient on their side. And also we hired like game design teams that have a direct support to developer almost at all times. We're available for the developer.
Awesome, awesome. And now let's say when I give my game to testing, do we need to sign any kind of agreement before the publisher tests our game?
Yeah, that's also a good question, because right now studios use our automated testing platform called Homa Lab. As you see, we're very good in naming our tools. And in order to to use this tool, you have to agree to some terms and conditions, but it's there to protect our and your intellectual properties, which is it's a very common, common thing across all the industries. But in any kind of agreement like this, I will really suggest you to check it and to ask as many questions as you want. And the trustful publisher will be happy to answer and clarify some uncertain points.
Amazing. And does the developer get credit for their work?
Yes, of course. Like, frankly, I think it's one of the best things that I like in my job is to talk about developers, to promote developers, to have interviews with them, to promote their actually new work, old work. But of course, if it's everything is okay, if they're okay with that, very happy to do this.
Any interesting story that you might have, like your best experience of working with one particular developer that maybe you would like to share, and their success story or case study maybe?
Yes, I love to work with all of my developers. I think it's a particular story with the guys who made Border Patrol. Okay. They're from Panama, so our time difference is very big. I think it's like 7 hours. Yeah. So they start working when it was really late in Paris, maybe starting from 7 p.m. And they worked until like 5 a.m. in Paris, and it was quite intense launch. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave for 1 month on Panama time instead of the Paris time. So it was pretty funny. But also these guys, they're amazing because they also made a lot of effort and they woke up super early in order to have some kind of working hours together with us. So it was a great case of dedication from the both sides.
That's amazing. That's really good. And generally, how does a publisher work with numbers to decide if a game is good or not? Generally, people are really confused as to what are the exact metrics that are going into picture. So can you shed a few light on that?
Sure. So we work very closely with game analytics. We're looking at we monitor the numbers in order to determine the potential of the game. And if you're just stepping into the hyper-casual, the first KPIs, the first metric that you have to learn is the CPI, which is cost per install from user acquisition side. Retention rate day 1, retention rate day 7, meaning how many people return to your game next day, or how many people return to a game on the day 7, and the session length, just the amount of time they played in one go. And before this, KPIs had like pretty standard metrics that you had to reach. They were pretty fast, but today, honestly, we're looking at all of them holistically, how they're all working with each other. And actually, sometimes we're adding more and more metrics to look at, for example, what kind of ads and how many times it's been watched per session.
Great. And generally, most of the people are always concerned about money, so whenever publisher is mentioned, they always think about how much will I earn, how much will the publisher earn. So on an average, what is the average income generated by a games under a publisher?
It really depends on the game's KPIs, and also on how the publisher can increase the margin, the profit margin out of the revenue. We really don't like to drop the exact numbers, but I can certainly say that a hit game can make 6 digits profit per month to the developer. That's based on Homa experience. That's what we see here.
That's really great. So guys, if you guys are a game developer, you maybe on a standalone basis, you might not have the level of success that you can get by working with a publisher, because that's what a publisher is good at. You guys can make amazing games, no doubt in that, but publishers work day in and day out on working on these particular factors. So if you have a good game, please feel free to reach out to such publishers, and all the contact of Homa Games is mentioned in the description. Please feel free to reach out to them as well if you have an amazing, great game idea. So now let's move on to the next question. How do developers get to know how much their game has earned with a publisher? So you definitely don't disclose these numbers publicly, that's understood. But how does the reporting work with a publisher? Let's say I'm a developer and you have a game published with Homa Games. How will I come to know that how much did the game earn?
Mm-hmm. So every publisher has their different ways to report and different levels of depth of reporting. Since day one, one of our values is transparency, so we have actually no issues to give you any kind of numbers that you're asking for. Usually at the end, if you have a game published with us, you will have a monthly report, a very detailed report, how the game, what the game did and what we did during the month and how much money you get at the end of the month. But we never wanted to be a surprise. So when we're working together, if you can ask for more details, we're happy to share with us.
Awesome, awesome. Again, a technical question. Does a publisher look at what game engine a game is made on?
If you want to work in the hyper-casual right now, I would really suggest you to work in Unity 3D, as this engine is compatible with almost, or if not all, the tools and SDKs available on the market.
Okay, and a lot of people these days are, excited about Buildbox. So, any views on Buildbox from your side?
Buildbox is really great to start building games when you don't have a lot of knowledge in coding, you don't have a lot of experience, but you're really passionate about games. So why not? You can try it, but at the end of the day, it's how fast you can integrate the tools, how fast, if you have any bugs on the monetization side. So I would really suggest you, if you want to work with Buildbox, please do. Maybe at some point it will really catch up or overrun Unity, but also tap into Unity. It's a safer option. Buildbox is still super fun. We sometimes run some kind of fun Homa events in our company when we have to come up with new games, and we all use Buildbox because it's so easy and acceptable for everybody to make a game. And if you want to make a game, please do.
Awesome, awesome. Now I have a small final question, is that what are the different kinds of publishers in the market, and what makes Homa Games different from the other publishers?
Yeah, so I can start with saying that if you are thinking to get into hyper-casual markets, I think it's a really good time right now because there are several very experienced and good publishers operating on the market, and all of them have kind of different styles, so you can choose the one that is closer to you. Since day one, when hyper-casual just came to the market, our mindset was that it's not just a new genre of the gaming, it's just a new way of working, it's a new way of creating content, fast development, fast prototyping, laser focused on monetization, user acquisition, then hyper focused on core gameplay and other things. So with this kind of vision in the industry, we set ourselves a bit different from other publishers on the market. And I would say first way we're different from other publishers is our values that speak for themselves, which is that we care for the developers a lot. We provide fair deals to the developers. We believe in collective success. So we have no problems in sharing all the knowledge and expertise from our side to the developer and make sure that we reach success together. Then we, as well as our biggest asset is our team. We make sure that we hire the best people on the market with the best talent, and we train them to become experts in their field worldwide. And when you take this in combination with the amazing tech that I was always talking about all this time, all the tools that we made, they're seriously and state-of-the-art technologies that allow us to tap into really great insights in the App Store. Like we have as well, we have not only technologies that allow us to automate and move faster, but also technologies and teams that that analyze the trends on the App Store and then look for the next trends in the App Store. And we have quite a good insight that we're very happy to share with developers. Actually, fun fact, half of our team is engineers. You would say like, oh, it's a gaming company, but we really position ourselves that we support ourselves a lot with the technologies that we have in the company. So yeah, and if you're really thinking to go into hyper casual, especially with the opportunities right now, like we have with the new brands, it's not only about making just a hyper casual game. Now you can work with your favorite brands. Now you can tap into a fan base. Now you can make people really excited about your game. Please try yourself, and I can do the shameless plug and say that the easiest way to get into hyper casual or like to any kind of game development is game jam.
Yeah.
That we're having pretty soon, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Where already more than 100 participants are in, so please also get in, because we have a Discord channel with the support that consists of publishing managers, that consists of game designers. We're happy to help you, and you also will have a chance to use our automated tool, Homa Lab, and I think at the end it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. So a small tagline that I have for Homa Games from all the conversation that we had. So Homa Games feels like home. It kind of it does for me. You guys are supporting the developers so much, and I genuinely am interested in also knowing a bit more about the Game Jam event, because you mentioned it a couple of times, but I think we missed out on that part. So could you also give a little bit of explanation regarding why this Game Jam is important and how it will help the other developers tap into this market, or what is the long-term picture?
Mm-hmm. So when we got an opportunity to work with Hasbro, with Nerf, it was very exclusive. It was very unique on the market. We did Nerf Epic Brains. It went super well, and we were thinking, okay, how can we provide this opportunity to more people? How can we excite other people into working in hyper casual? Plus, we also want other people to discover our automated platform. So it went all well together, and plus we had some kind of game jam event inside the company, and it was extremely fun. Like for 3 days, we had to create a game based on the theme, and almost not we don't know how to code games, so we have to use other means of providing the results. So the excitement of working together in the limited amount of time, the excitement to share that you can work on some kind of IP and work with the big brands. We wanted to share with a lot of people, and to inspire people to join the hyper casual industry, as now it is the time. And we wanted to make it as accessible as possible for everybody in the world. Do you have a lot of experience, or you have no experience? And of course, at the end, to also bring on the table rewards, very nice prizes. We have a lot of partners. The prize pool is 150K. So that also makes the end goal a bit more exciting. And the Game Jam will start in September. I think we can put a bit more information in the description and like some links. It's super easy to register. You click on the link, and then you will have an access to the platform where you can test your game directly. You don't even have to give it to someone else. It will be, if you have never ever tested the game, it's your chance for the first time to test your game with the real audience, with the real budget, and the real advertising.
Awesome. And this game jam is an IP based game jam, right? So what sort of IPs are we looking at? What sort of you mentioned Hasbro, right? Are there any other IPs that will be in this game jam?
Yeah, so this will be announced on the day that the game jam started.
Okay.
We can't say yet whether it's going to be Hasbro. We can't say that whether it's going to be another IP, because this will be tied to the game jam theme, and we don't want to give. We want it to be as fair as possible, so we don't want to give like unfair leverage to somebody who has a bit more time before the game jam starts, so they can think about it. So on the first day of game jam, please look forward to it, and you will get all the information.
That is amazing. And Lola, it was a lot of fun talking to you about game publishing and all the interesting things that go behind the scenes. Most of the audience in my channel is very interested in game development, and I'm sure you will get a lot of people trying to pitch you their next big game that they think. And I wish you guys all the best, and I look forward to the next episode as well. We'll just have a discussion about that as well later. And that's it for this video, audience. And I would request you all to please register yourself in the Game Jam. All the links are in the description. Please join Homa Games Discord channel. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, so Facebook, wherever you can find them, LinkedIn, wherever. And that is Lola for you. Lola, any parting thoughts before we end this interview?
No, I just wanted to say it was super fun, and I hope my information was very useful and inspired some people to tap into hyper-casual market. We'll be happy to. You can actually directly write to me. Maybe I can give you my LinkedIn. And I can't wait for the next series of hyper-casual on your channel.
Awesome. So guys, that's it for this video. If you like this video, press the like button. If you're finding me for the first time, press the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you don't miss another video from my channel. My name is Nikhil. This is Lola from Homa Games. You will find a lot of amazing game development related content on this channel. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.
ये क्या तू छोटा मोटा गेम लेके बैठा है रे? थोड़ा बड़ा सोच ना. बड़ा सोच, बड़ा सोच, बड़ा सोच, बड़ा सोच, बड़ा सोच, बड़ा सोच. माइनक्राफ्ट तो 6 दिन में बना था, तुझे 6 महीने क्यों चाहिए?